Morning. So, late last night, Tristan from Upscale Exotics arrived and brought me my new Freedom Breeder rack. This guy, I mean, he drove all day yesterday. Drove from LA up to Freedom Breeder, then drove all the way down to San Diego, and then back up to LA. And I wish I had that kind of energy. I probably wouldn't have these bags under my eyes. For those of you that don't know Tristan, he's a great guy. He's one of those guys that not a lot of people hear about him, but he's got a really, really nice collection. I mean, he's got animals that I drool over. And he's got ball pythons, retics, hognose, just a little bit of everything. So I'll leave his information in the description. You guys can go check him out. He's a really good guy, really stand up. So back to the video. So he brought me the new rack, and I was thinking about it just now as I was running all the cables, and I was like, you know, a lot of people do building videos of the racks. That's the easy part. Like, if you've seen Shane at Small Town Exotics, he built one. If he can do it, my God, a 6-year-old can do it. So the problem that people have is with the wiring of them. Running all the cables and getting a power strip and just making it nice and neat. If you don't make it nice and neat, when you go to move the rack, you have a bunch of issues with cables everywhere. Just trying to get them against the wall or next to another rack. If you don't do it right, you're going to have problems. So for me, that's the most time consuming. I mean, I can build a rack in 20 minutes. It's easy. But I take my time with the wiring. I've got a little bit of OCD, so, you know, let me show you what I do. So, first of all, as far as the probe, I usually, I'm 6'1". So, to me, I'll go 5 levels, and then I do the shelf. And then I do 6 levels because I go 11 high. So what I've done, the probe goes on the 3rd row up, and then on the second half I'll do it from the 3rd row up as well. And so I run that over. The very first one I'll run underneath, and then as I come up I start putting them side to side. And then as I go a little bit higher, I start overlapping them just to keep it nice and neat and clean. So what I use to hold all the wires together is a Velcro tape. And so what I'll do is before I start, like I'm getting ready to do the second set right now. And so I make my first one where I want it, and then I'll go through, I'll put another one, and I cut it a little bit longer, just about the size of the cord, and then again and again, and so that way it's all ready for me as I'm running the different cords. It's super fast to get it going, and then like I said, you can get them nice and tight and they look neat. So one issue has always been the power strip. I must have gone through 10 power strips, and I like this Tripp-lite. It seems to work the best. This, let's see, you can read it. That's the model. I'll put that in the description as well. So they usually come with these little black wings off to the side, and what that's for is you can roll the cord up if you're not using it for something like this. In this situation, it wasn't necessary, so I take them off and I just put the screws back so that you still have a solid unit. As I bring them up, like I said, I'll overlap them and try to keep them as straight as possible and neat. Then I'll bundle them together, and then I'll try to bundle the cords. Like these are the two that go on the bottom, and then I brought these two on the top in between them, and this one over here. And they're nice and neat. They'll tuck up in. The thing is, for some people, if you've only got one rack, then you can do it on the side. Or if you have two racks, you can do it on the side of one and side of the other if you want to push your rack all the way to the back. Now, for me, because I'm doing racks side by side, it's easier to put them in the back and just, like I said, the footprint is not very big. So what I'll do, I use a 764 drill bit, and I'll do pilot holes. Then if you use a number 6 by 3/4 inch self-tapping screw, you can hang them right on the back. And it makes it so much easier. So this one now, I'll run it up. I'll go up towards the top, and I'll run the second one, and it'll go straight over to the thermostat up top. Easy. I find this way works the best because, like I said, if I need to move one rack out at a time, everything's in one spot. It's bundled. It's nice and neat. I don't have to worry about cords hitting other ones, or, you know, maybe moving one jostles it and knocks one off on the other rack, and then next thing you know, you have no heat in that rack. It's, I don't know. I just, like I said, I think I've got a little touch of OCD, and I like to make things nice and neat. But this is the hardest part for me because it's so time consuming. But take your time, you do it once, and it's going to last you the life of your rack. As always, if you have any comments, leave them. Any questions, get a hold of me. Instagram, Facebook. If you have anything you want me to talk about, same thing, let me know. And I'll see you next time.